And it was not allowed to wear makeup in the hair. And the most beautiful woman I had ever seen in my life we didn't go to town that much, but when I would go to see her because she had these long red fingernails, she wore bright lipstick, she had peroxide blonde hair, wore tight clothes, short, and I thought she is the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. And my mother said, "Oh, she's just trash. She's just a tramp." And I thought, that's what I want to be when I grow up.
Hey guys, I know that we're supposed to be on our summer hiatus or our late summer hiatus. We told you when we launched the season finale episode a couple days ago, but Robbie and I decided together that how could we not jump back on our computers and sit in front of our cameras and talk about the most amazing person who left us on Tuesday of this week, Dolly Parton. We have to talk about her. So we're going to do it for the next half hour. That music you heard at the top of the show was played live at the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace in London on Tuesday. And it was a way for the royal family to honor Dolly Parton's passing. And so since we can't play Dolly's real music because of copyright stuff, we can play this because it was played by a band in a live performance. And so I think it's not going to get flagged by the AI music bots, right, Robbie?
Yeah, it shouldn't do that. I mean, there should be a exception for people in mourning.
Absolutely. Now, as everyone on the planet knows by now, unless you've been living under a rock, Dolly Parton passed away at the age of 80 years old this past Tuesday, August 25th in Nashville. They say that she was only there for about 4 days and she had cancer. We don't know what kind of cancer she had, but I know that she'd had a lot of stomach issues. So it may have been stomach cancer, but we don't know. I don't know that we'll ever know, and we don't need to know. But apparently she died peacefully. Her nephew got on a video to let the world know that she'd passed away, and apparently Dolly asked him to do that if she left us, and she did, and he did. And they said that she died peacefully, so we're happy about that. We're not happy that she died, of course. That is horrible because she was universally loved by literally, and I'm not joking about this, everyone. Everyone loved Dolly Parton. She was more than just a singer. She was also an actress, a businesswoman, and a humanitarian who loved everyone for who they were. She was also self-deprecating and wickedly funny, and she supposedly steered clear of politics so that she wouldn't offend her millions and millions of fans. And I think that is such a great idea. And so many times when dumb actors open their mouth and pick a side, I want to say, shut up. What are you doing? What are you doing, Alec Baldwin? What are you doing, blah, 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 Jane Fonda? Anyway, she's going to be greatly missed, and she was definitely taken too soon. I love this. I was reading the New York Times. I read lots of articles about her in the last day or two. But in 2019, the New York Times ran a story with the headline that was, quote, "Is there anything we can all agree on? Yes, Dolly Parton," unquote. And I think that's true. What do you think, Robbie? Did I just say anything did I say anything that wasn't true?
No, I agree with all of that. Dolly Parton, she was, like you said, not just, she's part of the fabric of our lives. I mean,
Yeah.
she was a pop culture juggernaut for as long as a lot of people remember. I mean, she's been doing this since the mid 60s, and it's just hard to not have her. Not that it's weird because when a celebrity like this big, you feel like you know them, but you clearly don't. But it's just weird not having them exist anymore and not able to contribute new things to the world,
Yeah.
especially someone as good as Dolly Parton that was constantly, not only was she, talented as a singer, songwriter, actress, and pop culture figure, she was a juggernaut, right? But she
Yeah.
also did a lot of good stuff for normal people.
So much.
And that's what the lasting legacy is going to be for her. Yeah. It's weird to say it, but it's like I never thought that Dolly would die. It's like she was just going to be here forever,
Forever, right?
or at least until she turned 100.
I
And
know.
when people grieve about even people, even people in your family or whatever, sometimes the grieving process can be awkward because sometimes you feel selfish because you want them here when that's not what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And then when a lot of people grieve, they like to talk about themselves, like the way that person was for them, which I
Right.
think is okay, but it's I don't know. It's a weird thing to grieve,
Yeah.
especially over celebrity. Or I think Dolly was more than just a celebrity. I mean, that's why so many people are upset because yeah, just
She was
global, yeah, it's hard. And then last night I decided to watch a Dolly Parton movie. So I decided to watch Best Little Whorehouse in Texas because it had been a minute since I seen it. And I have the record over here of the soundtrack that I have the vinyl for. And, there's a lot of fun songs in it. And she co-starred with Burt Reynolds, who's also passed away. And so they had a number together, a song that they did together. And it was just sort of sad to sit there and watch it, be like, they're both gone now,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, you can say that about a lot of the old movies that we watch. So many are gone.
Well, and it's different, sometimes
And this is gonna keep happening.
when you have a really old movie,
Yeah.
like an old black and white one or something of some big stars that maybe already were dead before you even were an adult.
True.
Doesn't have the same impact as someone that you literally have
Grew up with.
watched their career for your entire life
Exactly.
as they evolved. But no, I've been a Dolly fan for a long time. 9 to 5 was the first thing I ever saw Dolly in ever. When my mom watched it and I watched it with her and thought it was hilarious. I was probably like 8 or 9 years old. And yeah.
I have this quote that I'm gonna put up on the screen while I read it. It's something that she said a few years ago. She said, "I've created this and played it up, the makeup, the whole persona, but this isn't all I am. It's not even most of what I am. Hopefully people can see beneath the hair to know there's a brain, beneath the boobs to know there's a heart, and behind all the other stuff to know there's some talent." I like that. Dolly also admitted in interviews, Robbie, that she slept only like 3 hours a night. That's how she got so much stuff done. And as a side note, that's how Martha Stewart gets so much stuff done. She only sleeps like 2 or 3 hours a night, which is so bananas. Dolly was also nominated for more than 50 Grammy Awards, 10 of which she won, along with being recognized for a Lifetime Achievement by the Recording Academy in 2011. So I guess she had 11 Grammys. And a show about her life, Dolly, a true original musical, is scheduled to open on Broadway in early 2027. Dolly worked closely with the producers on that, and she was expected or really wanted to be there for opening night. And it's going to be very sad that she won't get to do that.
Well, she was also nominated for a couple of Oscars too.
Yeah.
For not for any of her acting, but for best song. And 9 to 5 lost to the song Fame from the movie Fame.
Hmm.
And I think that was 1980. And then she lost the second time for she had a song called Traveling Through, which was from that I think it was called Transamerica. Do you remember that?
Hmm. Yep. Absolutely.
And she lost to It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp by 3 6 Mafia. And that she should have won. She
Yeah.
should have won that year. She should have won both of those years because, well, 9 to 5 has lived on way more than
It's a
Fame
classic.
has. I
All
mean,
right.
it's just way huge. So in retrospect, that was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Now with the 3 6 Mafia and her song Traveling Through, I don't think either one of those songs is really remembered that much. But
No.
just come on.
Yeah.
Dolly deserved that Oscar then. I think I remember 3 6 Mafia said that they wanted to give the Oscar to Dolly. So I
Yeah.
thought that was cute. But
You know, they're technically not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to give them away, and you're not allowed
yeah,
to sell them. Yeah.
you can auction them or something, I think.
I,
That's what happens when people pass away. They get auctioned off, and
yeah, but I don't think you're supposed to. Yeah. You're
or
not
I think
supposed
maybe
to.
you're allowed to. I don't know. I got to look into that, but
All right, we'll look at when we come back from hiatus. We'll let people know about that. But
so
all the award shows has gotten it wrong so many times. We could do a whole show on that.
so many times. But
So many times.
now the Empire State Building went pink last night in
Tuesday
honor
night.
of Dolly.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, yeah.
Yeah.
And the one thing I think everyone can agree on that Trump has done is put the flags at half mast for Dolly Parton.
Not
He
everybody.
what?
Not everybody. Dale Blades didn't think it was appropriate.
What?
He doesn't
Well,
think it should be done for celebrities. I mean, Trump also did it for Charlie Kirk. So
well, Dolly Parton is a national treasure. There's not many true national treasures.
I agree with it. I agree with
So
you. I
him
was just
wanting
saying
to
not.
put the flags at half mast for Dolly Parton, that
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay, well, that's something I totally agree with.
Yeah.
And
It was a
it's
surprise.
yeah, and I saw on iTunes charts practically the full top 10 is Dolly Parton on the singles chart and on the albums chart. This is on iTunes, not Billboard, but I'm sure Billboard, well, because Billboard comes out weekly, not daily, and we won't know about Billboard for maybe a week or longer.
It's going to be huge.
But I know that her music is going to be charting on Billboard too.
And Spotify. Spotify's bigger than iTunes, and she's also killing it over there. So
Well, yeah, I saw that, and I busted out my Dolly Parton playlist yesterday after I heard the news, and
did you?
the way I heard the news was from the video from her nephew. I was randomly on Facebook, as I am, and I saw this video because I'm a member of her official page. And I saw this random video and I listened to it and it sounded weird, like
Shocked.
an official
Yeah.
thing. So I didn't see a news article about it. I saw the actual video. But another strange coincidence is that the next named tropical storm or hurricane for the Atlantic is the next one on the list is Dolly. And they come up with these names 6 years in advance. There's a whole schedule for this. So it's a very weird coincidence that the next named storm is going to be called Dolly.
And I have a problem with that because because it's right now, and if this storm is a horrible, horrible, devastating storm, gosh, I would hate to have people associate the two together. You know what I mean?
Well, it
Hopefully
is what
people
it
are
is,
smart enough. Yeah. Well, they could change it. I'm sure they wanted to. Someone
Also,
could.
it hasn't been a very active season for hurricanes this year
No, you're right.
far, knock on wood, but so hopefully nothing. I mean, it's the weather pattern from what I read, but so another interesting tidbit is that, and I did not know this. Did you know this, that Dolly Parton put a song in a time capsule?
Because of you.
So she told Kelly Clarkson in 2022 that she'd written and recorded a new song that was put in a time capsule at Dollywood and not to be open until her 99th birthday in 2045.
Wow.
And so we will be able to hear it. She said it's a really good song, and she was like, wow, I wish I didn't say yes to do that, because she wanted to put the song out then.
You just said we'll be able to hear it. I hope I'm still alive when I'm 76 years old. That'd be great.
Is that how 2045? Yeah. So
Yeah, it's 19 years from now.
well, there's always wishful thinking.
Yeah.
And another, I've seen this before, but everything has been resurfacing from Dolly's entire career. Little interview nuggets and tidbits and quotes and fun stuff. There was a funny group of pictures that someone took at a live show that she did in 1992.
Yeah.
Where Dolly Parton was wearing this exaggerated cone bra, in honor of Madonna. It was kind of hilarious if you can find those photos, if you're allowed to put them up. But
I can't put them on the show, but I will put them on the Swish Edition Facebook page.
It's funny. And Dolly did say she wanted to work with Madonna, but it never happened.
That would've been fun.
Yeah.
I don't know
But
what they would have done together, but they could have I bet they're both masterminds when it comes to music. They could have come up with
oh yeah,
something, I'm
they're
sure.
both very, very, very smart businesswomen.
Yeah. I mean, if
Now,
Dolly can sing with Metallica not Metallica, if she can, sing with Motley Crue, she can sing with Madonna, right?
yeah, I mean, that was a missed opportunity right there.
Yeah,
So when it comes to her music, well, first of all, she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and she was the top ranking female singer on country radio from 1967 all the way until 1993. So, and she has 25 number one country singles on Billboard. And so, yeah, like the mid 60s is when she came out. I think her first single was called Dumb Blonde, which is kind of a fun, it came out in 1966, I believe. But then her breakout happened when she was hired to be on the Porter Wagner show in 1967. And then it was like a variety program back then. And I believe she wrote I Will Always Love You about him. I'm pretty sure. But then she started racking up the hits in the 70s with Jolene, which was a number one. And what I
yeah,
just mentioned, I Will Always Love You, which it's funny because some people still don't know that she wrote that song.
right.
And Whitney's version of that song still stands as the best selling single by a female recording artist. And it earned Dolly more than $10 million in pure profit.
I love that. I love
And
that, and I believe it, that it's the number 1 song because it's a killer of a song. I love it.
well, and Dolly, with the money that she got from that, she invested it into the Black community in Tennessee there where she lives. So she was
Yeah.
investing the money back into the community, which a lot of people really liked that she did that. And I have a big book that CJ got me for Christmas a couple of years ago. It's like I don't know how many songs she talks about that she wrote, but it's song by song, and it's like all this information about each song that she wrote. It's a big,
Wow.
thick coffee table book. And because she's published 3,000.
It's unbelievable. She can't possibly remember the lyrics to all of them.
Oh, she's very smart. She probably could.
Wow. I
You
can't
know,
remember the lyrics to one song. Actually, I think we've talked about that on the show before. The only one I know all the lyrics to is Vogue.
yep.
I'm
I
the
remember you
world's
said that.
worst. I just cannot remember lyrics to songs.
So, and her music she was a big, I think she was like the first, if not one of the first country crossover artists that
Yeah.
crossed over from country into pop.
I can't think of anyone else in the 70s and 80s for
No,
sure.
I think I was listening to somebody talk about this, and they said there's country music before Dolly and country music after Dolly.
Right.
She popularized the genre, and yes, she was a huge crossover artist. 9 to 5 is straight up pop, right?
Pop.
That was a
Yeah.
pop hit.
Yeah.
And, then she did Islands in the Stream with Kenny Rogers. She did an entire Christmas album with him, which is one of my favorite Christmas albums ever.
Yeah.
And the type of music that she sang sort of like blended she did a little bit of different genres in there. She did have a couple of bluegrass albums. She did straight up pop, like I just said, country. She did some gospel, and then she ventured into doing that rock album called Rockstar a couple years ago. I bought it. It's
Yeah.
like got 25 tracks. It's pretty fun. Now there's something you put down here. It's countrypolitan. What does that mean?
I wish I knew. I thought you would know, but
I've
that
never
the
heard of that term. So a genre called countrypolitan. I don't know. Maybe
it was in the New York Times article. I assumed I was stupid and didn't know and that you would know what it meant.
I'd never heard of that term.
If it would be it has to do with something like crossing between people that live in the city and people that live in the country, right?
Yeah,
Countrypolitan.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
I
I don't
don't
know.
know.
I'm gonna look into it and see if it's a real word or the New York
I think
Times just made it up.
I just looked it up now. It's called the Nashville sound. It's a
Okay.
subgenre of American country music that originated in Nashville, Tennessee in the 50s. And
There you go.
she's from that area.
Yeah.
But
And she lived in Nashville for decades and decades. Yeah.
And another thing about Dolly is that she was very personal with her songs that she did write. Like Coat of Many Colors, it was very autobiographical. And that is a standout track from her, along with the ones I mentioned before, Jolene, I Will Always Love You. Then we got Coat of Many Colors and Here You Come Again, which was, I think that was her big, huge pop crossover, was Here You Come Again.
Here you come again.
Yeah.
I love that song.
And I just saw a video posted. So, tributes from everybody from Eminem to Jack A are all over the internet, right? She
Yeah,
worked with a lot of people.
I know. We're going to
And
talk
I
about some of
mean,
those tributes later on in the
with
show, but
Eminem, she didn't even work with him or meet him, but he posted a tribute about her because
I
she did
saw it.
send him a nice letter. So even people she didn't even work with are,
Yeah.
giving these tributes. But the
Amazing.
funny video I saw posted yesterday was an old video from the 80s with Jack A, Jack A. Harry from 227. She was on a variety show with Dolly. I think Dolly had done a variety show for a minute in the 80s. And they sang Here You Come Again together, like in full character. They
Oh,
were playing
wow.
characters like nail salon technicians. It was really cute.
Yeah.
But Two Doors Down is another fun one she had. And then I really love Why'd You Come In Here Looking Like That.
It's a great song.
That was from the late 80s. But my favorite Dolly Parton song is called Light of a Clear Blue Morning. And yeah, and I Really Got the Feeling is another one of my favorites. And now here's an interesting thing that I learned yesterday as well. So, Kesha, she posted that her mom was a songwriter in the 70s, and she wrote Old Flames Can't Hold a Candle to You, which was a hit that Dolly Parton did.
Oh, wow.
So Kesha's mom wrote that song or co-wrote that song, which is interesting.
I just assumed Dolly wrote all of her own songs.
No, some songs she didn't write, but she wrote the bulk of them. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 3,000 songs is quite a catalog. Unbelievable. No, she was very creative. And I was reading something about she was supposed to be on set for a movie, but there were some delays in production and she was stuck in her trailer for hours. And then when she finally came out, they apologized to her and they said, "We're sorry it took so long for us to call you to set." And she goes, "Oh, that's okay. I was just sitting in my trailer writing songs and making money." So, I mean, she was just working her butt off at all times. It was pretty amazing. And it's really sad. A lot of people here in Vegas are sad because, she was supposed to do a residency at Caesar's Palace last fall, the fall of 2025, but she was ill and had to reschedule it for this fall. I think it was supposed to start next month here in Vegas. And then she ended up canceling that too because of her health issues. And it's really sad that didn't get to go see her do that because I think that would have been pretty friggin' amazing to see her in person.
Would you have gone to that?
I would have gone, sure. I don't know how much I would have paid. I guess it depends on how much it was. I know it sold out pretty fast when she first announced it, and I assume all those people are getting their money back now, or have already.
Did you ever see her live?
Oh, sadly, I don't.
And
think so.
we had our concert episode a couple episodes back, and I've seen her several times.
Yeah,
I think 5 or 6 times. And I'm really grateful that I did. I would have loved to have seen her at the Sphere.
She would have. Yeah, that would have been phenomenal.
Like,
Yeah,
I feel
for
like
sure.
Caesar's Palace is like old hat now that the Sphere is in town,
It's still a gorgeous theater, but yeah. Well, not everyone could be at the Sphere.
I mean, it's going to be hard to go back to a regular concert venue after I've been to the Sphere to see a show.
Right. Well, I'll let you know. I'll let you know what that's like when we go to New Kids on the Block in a couple weeks. So.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing that.
Yeah, the weekend before we start season 17. So I'll be able to report back. It's supposedly a really great show. So I just want to see Donnie Wahlberg. That's all I care about.
Oh, he was not my favorite. Joey was my favorite.
They're all great. All right, we're not here to talk about.
No, we're here to talk about Dolly, and I think we need to talk about her movies.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I went on to IMDb to see how many things she's done. She has over 157 acting credits to her name. She started way back in 1976 with Captain Kangaroo, and then of course she was on Porter Wagner right after that, and then all the way up till Dolly Parton's Mountain Magic Christmas in 2022, I think was her last movie that she was involved in. But there's been a ton of guest appearances, many TV appearances, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I think the number one standout, and the one that everyone is going to say, it's on your lips right now, 9 to 5. When you think of Dolly Parton, you think of 9 to 5. It's just the first thing, because the 1980 movie is so good. It's an absolute classic. It was well beyond its time. It was so damn funny.
And it still is to this day.
And it still is. And you could watch it. I mean, of course, there's some dated things in it because it is 1980, but It is so good. It is so good. Sometimes I just turn it on while I'm doing other things because I don't really need to pay attention to every minute of it. But one of my favorite scenes in that movie is when they think they have the dead body of their boss in the trunk of the car.
Oh
It
my
is
God, it's
just
so
the
hilarious.
absolute best. And
I love
putting
it when
Jane, yeah,
here,
go
I'm
ahead.
gonna do it right here.
Do it.
She goes, "Violet, honey, could you come back here for a second?"
It's so good. It's a
Oh my
very
God, it gets
quotable
me every
movie.
time.
Very quotable movie. And even the smaller characters like the drunk that works in the office and the office man,
Margaret,
yeah, the office manager that they send off to learn. Where did she go? France? Did they send her to France?
France,
Yeah.
Holy Maynard. Yeah. And
So
Dolly has some great lines in that, where she's
of
like,
course she
I say we
does.
I say we hire a couple of wranglers to go upstairs and beat the shit out of 'em." I lose my shit every time I hear her say that.
It's so great. Well, she did say one of her drawbacks was she had the mouth of a sailor. Now,
I love it.
we didn't get to hear it all that often, but she did.
Well,
But putting
she had an image to maintain, like
yeah,
I would have loved to have known her in private life. She was a hoot, but I bet you she was an even bigger hoot because you know what? I saw it was on the set of 9 to 5. I think she was talking to Lily Tomlin or Jane Fonda, and it was
yeah,
like an outtake. It was not filmed for the movie, but like the cameras were rolling when they were like in between takes.
the Miss Piggy
And
joke.
yes, the Miss Piggy joke that Dolly Parton told, and I said, "Whoa,
Tell it.
look at
Tell it.
Dolly Parton with the." I don't remember the joke though, but I remember it was a dirty joke that was funny about Kermit and Miss Piggy, but I can't remember what the joke was. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Something about
Yeah, what's green and smells like Miss Piggy?
oh yeah,
Kermit's
Kermit's
finger.
finger. That's what it was. I knew it was something about Kermit's finger.
She
Yeah.
tells so Dolly Parton tells that joke to Jane Fonda between takes.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course Jane Fonda loses it laughing.
Yeah.
Kind of fun. Shortly after that, 2 years later, she did The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, which Robbie watched on Tuesday night in tribute. Are you going to be mad at me when I tell
No,
you?
no.
I've never seen it. I'm familiar with it.
I thought you were going to say you didn't like it, so I'm
No,
I'm less upset that you didn't see it.
it's not that didn't like it. I have heard the music. I have seen at JR's or something, one of the songs
Oh yeah, you've seen
from
them.
the whorehouse.
You've
Yeah, I've
seen
seen.
JR's play that at
Yeah,
show tunes. There's a
you
ton
may
of
have played
songs.
it. You may have played it,
Oh, I
right?
did. I played. There's at least 4 standout songs in that movie that get played at show tunes
All right.
regularly. At least when I went there.
Well, I promise you, I will watch it. How about that? I'll make up for lost time.
It's really fun. Yeah, it's really fun.
The next one she did was Rhinestone with Sylvester Stallone, and guess what?
You never saw that one?
I haven't seen that one either. Was that good? It
I
wasn't as good as Best Little
I've seen
Whorehouse.
it, and it's considered a turkey. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it's whatever. I mean, it was an interesting choice for Stallone to be like she has a bet that she has to turn Stallone into a country singer.
yeah, like he's a cab driver or something.
Right.
Yeah,
And it's cute and fun. It's like one of those 80s fun
yeah,
movies that just strictly a guilty pleasure type
yeah.
thing. She
Well, I
has
think
some good songs in it. Tennessee Homesick Blues is from that movie, and I love that song.
yeah. All right, I'll check it out. I think we can agree she didn't make enough movies. She definitely
No,
wasn't in enough movies. She did too much schmaltzy, Christmassy things which I don't really get into, like the Hallmark Channel type movies.
yeah. There was a
But
lot of TV movies she did the past 15
yeah,
or so years that they actually came out on network television too. But
yeah,
I like, when theatrical releases, right? I put
yeah,
those way above TV stuff.
yeah. And
She had legitimately
he's not gonna
3
let me
good
say it.
movies.
I know. I'm about to say it. I'm about to get to the next one. The next one is Steel Magnolias, which
Yeah.
is one of her best movies. I put it next to 9 to 5 any day. That came out in 1989, the year I graduated from high school, and starred Julia Roberts, Shirley MacLaine, so many other great people. It was different for her. It was more drama than comedy, but there was still plenty of comedy in it. And she played the hairdress owner, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her name was, oh my God, why am I blanking out on her name?
Uma.
Nope, that's not
Bye.
it. Oh my God, I know it. Why can't I think of it? My mind has been fried this week because of all the shit that's been going on.
You've been overloaded.
Truvy Jones.
Truvy.
Yeah,
There you
that was her name.
go.
She
And
says
she howls. Go ahead. Go ahead.
she has some great quotes in that movie too.
And you know them all, I'm sure.
I do.
Say one.
She, like one of the ones is, there is no such thing as natural beauty. It takes some effort to look like this.
That's a good one. And Daryl Hannah, her little protege. It's a great movie. If you guys haven't seen it, there's something wrong with you because it's one of the best movies of all time. So
It is so good.
And Gidget's in it. Gidget plays Julia Roberts' mother, so that's kind of
Sally
fun.
Field, yeah.
Yeah, and they're amazing.
It's one of the greatest
Olympia
ensemble
Dukakis.
casts.
Yeah, Olympia Dukakis. It's just really, really phenomenal. After that, she did Straight Talk with James Woods, where she played she was like a on-air, on the radio psychiatrist, psychologist, which was super fun. I didn't know about the movie with Queen Latifah called Joyful Noise, but it looks really, really cute, where she heads up a choir of people, kind of like Sister Act, but I don't know.
Yeah, I remember when it came out. For some reason, I've never seen it though.
I've seen a couple clips just in the last 2 days because of her passing, and it does look really cute, especially when she and Queen Latifah's character fight. That looks real fun. Like she threw a drink at Queen Latifah's face.
I saw that. I saw that today, actually.
And I also didn't know this. I didn't know this till I was doing some more research. I knew that her production company was the production company behind Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show, and Angel, and tons of TV movies and specials. But I didn't know that she also was the producing company behind the Steve Martin's Father of the Bride movies, number 1 and 2. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So she made a lot of money off those movies. She made a lot of money off Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's damn sure, because that was a cult classic on TV. She also did on television tons and tons and tons. I could spend all day telling you all of her guest appearances. She was on Reba, The Simpsons, Hannah Montana. She was Aunt Dolly to Miley Cyrus's Hannah Montana. And she also played, I guess Aunt Dolly was her godmother on the TV show. But Dolly Parton was also Miley Cyrus's godmother in real life.
Yes.
Which was pretty damn cool. They had a very close personal and working relationship. She did a guest on Grace and Frankie, which of course put her back together with her co-stars from 9 to 5. And then in 2022, I think one of the last things she did on television was called The Orville. It's the Seth MacFarlane Star Trek ripoff, but it's actually better than Star Trek. And she sang a song called Try, which I immediately, when I was watching it yesterday, Shazammed it, and it's now part of my collection. Because do you know this song, Try?
No, but I'm going to listen to it now. I didn't know anything about this show or anything.
Yeah, it's such a great show. You never heard of the Orville?
Never.
It's really cute. So Seth MacFarlane can do everything. He does cartoon voices, he can sing, and he acts too. So I think he's like the captain of this Star Cruiser thing. It's fun. It's more funny than Star Trek, but a lot of people say it's better than Star Trek, but not Trekkies, of course. Anyway, she agreed. Seth MacFarlane called her up one day and said, I have this really great part. It's, half a day project. Could you come do it? And will you sing a song? She said, okay. So it's kind of fun. You should see it.
Bette Midler had a TV show, a sitcom in the early 2000s. I think it was the 2000 to 2001 season.
Bet.
It was called Bet.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved it.
It wasn't good.
I thought it was great. Dolly Parton was a guest on one of the episodes, and they have a song that they sing Islands in the Stream together. Yeah. And Bette is dressed up as a mermaid, and Dolly is singing with her, and Bette is like trying to upstage Dolly. It's kind of funny.
Was Dolly on the show playing herself?
Yes, she was playing herself. Okay. And Bette Midler was kind of playing herself, but like a meta type version of herself. But yeah, so that was a cute little, because I love it when my divas team up. I love Bette Midler and I love Dolly. When they got together, it was magic.
It was super fun.
But yeah, and we talked about some of her philanthropy and charity work. She had that imagination library where she sent a book out to children, like 300 million books or something like that. 250 million books have gone out since she started that program.
It's funny. I read several different articles about her passing, and each article said a different number of books that she gave away. So it was in the hundreds of millions. Yeah.
And, she even organized a telethon when there were some wildfires in the Smoky Mountains, and she raised $9 million.
It was amazing. Yeah.
And there was a Hurricane Helene hit that area in 2024, and she raised some money for that too. I mean, what could this woman not do? You know what I mean? She was a superhero.
It's amazing because she could have, a lot of people were saying she could have easily been a billionaire, like so many celebrities are becoming now, like Seinfeld and others. But they say that they're estimating she gave away almost $600 million to charity and good causes like these in her
Yeah, because
lifetime.
because how much money does one person need? You know what I mean?
No, you don't
She
need
was a
$1 billion.
she was a true Christian. There's so many
Yeah.
fake Christians out there.
Yeah.
She was a true Christian. She gave back. She didn't judge people. She's an extraordinary example of a human being, of how a human being
Absolutely.
should be. And I strive to be more like her.
You
I should
should.
I want to be less bitter and be more like Dolly Parton.
Wait, how many hundreds of millions of dollars have you given to charity, Robbie?
I'm the one that should be getting the charity.
All right, we're gonna give all the proceeds from this episode, if we get any commercials on it, to the Imagination. What's it called? Imagination Library.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, we have to do that. I mean, amazing. She is an example all of us can try to achieve, even a quarter of what she did. But I also want to talk about this before we do any wrapping up of this. Her net worth was estimated at between $450 and $650 million, which is a big $200 million gap there, but she didn't really publicize it, so it's hard to tell. But the reason she has that much money is because she was an absolutely shrewd businesswoman. She once said, quote, "I look like a woman, but I think like a man," unquote, which is kind of sexist, and maybe not all the feminists out there will like a quote like that, but she didn't mean it in a bad way. What's amazing about her is she wasn't going to let anyone else own her shit. She owned all the rights to all of her songs, and she made a fortune because of it. Elvis Presley came to her and said, "I want to sing, I want to record I Will Always Love You." This is well before Whitney did it, of course. And he didn't want to pay for it. He wanted to do it
It was the
he wanted it
Colonel.
for free.
It was the Colonel, his manager, that
The Colonel
did
went
that.
on Elvis's behalf.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the Colonel was kind of terrible.
Yeah, no, he's a horrible person.
And Dolly was so smart to say, "Nope, these are my
Yeah.
songs. I am not giving them away to anyone."
Yeah, and as you said earlier in the show, when Whitney recorded it for the soundtrack to Bodyguard, she had to pay, and Dolly made over $10 million just off of Whitney's version of "I Will Always
And
Love You."
as far as I'm concerned, and we did mention this, but I just wanted to strike home, for me and my generation, that Whitney's "I Will Always Love You" is the biggest song of all time. Like,
Yeah.
there was nothing bigger than that song. And I remember getting the cassette single when it came out. And
Yeah.
I was reading the cassette single on the back, and it said written by Dolly Parton, And
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" I figured it out then, I didn't
Yeah.
realize that until I saw the back of the cassette single. But okay, you quoted her earlier, but you didn't do the full quote. You said, "I look like a woman, but I think like a man." The rest of the quote, because I saw this earlier and thought it was really interesting. She says, "I've done business with men who take me for a fool. By the time they realize I'm not, I already have the money and I'm gone."
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Now, of course, she had a couple failures. She produced the first Broadway musical called 9 to 5, the musical. Was a show in 2009 which she owned and she helped put together, and it did really horribly. I think it only ran for like 130 performances, which 8 a week is not a very long run. So that's kind of too bad, because you would think that not everything
Well,
transforms from being a movie to a stage production, and I
well,
think they do it too often. But
Well, the thing for me is that when you want to see 9 to 5, it's all about Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, and Dolly Parton. And if it's not
right,
going to be them,
right.
most people don't want it.
Well, that's
And
what I
Dolly
said.
doesn't even sing in it. So it's like some
That's
other
what
people singing it.
Right, and this is what I said about Mrs. Doubtfire. Dale asked me if I wanted to go see Mrs. Doubtfire because it's coming. The touring show is coming to Las Vegas. It's gonna be at the Venetian, I think. And I'm like, without Robin Williams, why would
No.
I want to see Mrs. Doubtfire?
If I
It's
love
just
the movie so much, I cannot see it in any other version. I
Right,
just can't.
which is why I could not bring myself to go see the Back to the Future musical because one, Back to the Future is not a musical and it doesn't need to be a musical and not everything needs to be reimagined,
As a
right?
musical, right?
I
Yeah,
just want to watch Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox and
yeah.
all the good people. I don't want
Like,
to see the dumb stage version.
and usually I'm not really a big fan when something I truly love gets remade in any capacity.
Yeah.
And most people that know me know what I really like, and they'll
Right.
say, "Look at this! It's a remake of something," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not interested in that at all." Yeah.
So I don't want to shit. I'm not shitting on her. Sometimes not everything works, but her biggest thing that worked was just this little theme park in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, which was already there. Someone else owned it. She bought it in and redeveloped it in 1986. It opened as Dollywood. And then she continued over the last couple decades of expanding and making it bigger and better and adding roller coasters and adding shows and adding marketplaces and adding a whole Christmas spectacular in the month of December. I mean, it just kept growing and growing and growing. And it's one of the best theme parks in the country. People flock there from all over the world to go to Dollywood.
Have you been?
I've never been.
Me
No, but
neither,
I've
and I
been.
want to go.
How about we make a pact to go?
Let's
You know, what's
go.
funny is that Dale and I parked our RV in Pigeon Forge at an RV park, and we still didn't go. That's because we weren't on
What?
vacation. We weren't on
Oh,
vacation.
you were driving across the country.
Yeah, it's when Dale's dad was dying and we had to get home fast. So,
Oh,
yeah, we
yeah.
got there late at night and it was beautiful. Pigeon Forge is absolutely gorgeous. I'll definitely go back. Dale's mom and stuff, they've been there and they love it. They love it.
Yeah, it's one of my dreams, my
It's a
bucket
bucket
list
list.
to go to
Yeah.
Dollywood. Most people are like, "Oh, I want to go to Fiji," or
Oh no.
no, I want to go to Dollywood.
I can't go to Fiji. It's too far away.
Um,
I don't like things that far away.
no, but I could definitely do. I'll have to figure it out the next couple of years.
Yeah. And then, it even expanded. It's two parks now. They opened Dollywood Splash Country back in 2001. Then they built this whole big, huge resort and spa. And most recently, they opened Dolly's Stampede dinner attraction, which is, I don't know what that is, but it's probably kind of like that. What's that thing?
Stampede. That's
Yeah,
like
what's that
it's
thing we have in Vegas where you go and sit and eat turkey legs and
like
watch
medieval
jousters?
times. Yeah.
Yes, it's like medieval times. You get a dinner and a show with horses and stuff. So I think it's great. And I'm sure, and they did stay open on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. It was always determined ahead of time that if Dolly passed away, the park would not close. It would remain open and be in celebration of her work and her life, and there was no reason to close. So the park was open yesterday. It was open on Tuesday, and I'm sure it's very sad around there.
Well,
But how much you want to bet their numbers go through the roof this fall?
well, I know that their website crashed with people trying to get on there to get tickets.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I have a friend who I met in DC, and his name is Bryce. He's a huge Dolly Parton fan, and he does drag, or at least he did, and he would do Dolly Parton like
Yeah.
as a professional female impersonator for Dolly. He's met Dolly several times, and so of course he is absolutely devastated. He was the first person I thought of after my own initial shock. So my heart goes out to him because that's his woman, that's his diva. And he made a pilgrimage to Dollywood yesterday. It was yesterday
What?
yesterday or today. He lives in
Wow.
Virginia, so it was like 2 hours away. But he left some flowers by her statue, and yeah, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, of course, I'm sure her line of food products with Duncan Hines will continue. She has a line of kitchen and housewares with a company called Lifetime Brands. And of course, as we just announced here on the Swish Edition a couple months ago, her Dolly's Tennessean travel stop opened this last May. So she's got a truck stop with her name on it too, and you can go in there and buy all her shit.
That's
And
great. I would love to go into one.
I bet that place is also teeming with people today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved
And
by everyone.
one thing I do love about is that, most people don't show their appreciation for somebody until after they pass away, right?
Right.
But with Dolly, people did it while she was alive, which I think is
Right.
awesome.
Really.
People, yeah. So yeah, but
Do you want to
yeah,
read any of these quotes? I can put some of
no,
these quotes. You don't want to read them?
no, we've gone over the time anyway. We were only going to make this a 30-minute special, but now it's
He's
turning into a
done.
full-fledged episode.
He's
But
done talking about
Dolly
Dolly.
deserves it. She deserves it.
Yeah.
We
Well,
said
she
to each
did.
other, we have to do a show for Dolly. It's
Yeah.
just
Well, maybe I'll put some of these quotes up on the screen after we're
yeah.
done. But
There's lots of quotes from tributes
from
from everyone, from
everyone,
Miley Cyrus to Reba McEntire, Taylor Swift, George Strait, Sabrina Carpenter, Jane Fonda. Like everybody is just coming out of the woodwork
everybody,
with great
presidents.
stories.
Yeah.
I have never seen this in my lifetime
No.
about anyone that is this beloved, universally beloved. You know, the
I
world
don't
can
think you'll
be
see it
kind of
again.
the world can be kind of a depressing and hard place, and she made it bearable. And
Who
I don't know if
is
we'll ever see this again with a
right?
figure.
No, like I was just going to ask you, who is Dolly Parton's equal?
It's
There
possible
isn't
that we
one.
could. She does not, but it's close. Would be Cher. I could see this universal outpouring of love for Cher. She
Cher's great,
transcends
but
generations, and
yeah, but Cher didn't write. Cher doesn't write all her own shit.
no, she doesn't. But
No, she's not a songwriter.
she has an Oscar, though.
She does have an Oscar. That's true.
I think.
Yeah. She's up
I
there.
don't know.
I'll agree with you. She
Yeah.
is way up there.
That's the
Yeah.
closest one I can think of at the moment that would be anywhere near Dolly Parton's.
Pardons. I love how you say her last name. You say it weird.
Do I?
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton. Yeah.
Dolly Parton. Anyway, next is I don't know who, but you know, we're getting up there. We're going to see a lot more of these.
Well, and we have to
gonna be really
mention
sad.
we have to mention Tim Curry because he
Curry
passed away the same day that Dolly did, just later in the evening.
We just talked about him a couple weeks ago too, because the announcement that the movie is going to be at the Sphere next year.
Yep.
His cult
So I'm sure
classic.
that'll be some kind of a tribute coinciding with that. That was hard news to take too, although the Tim Curry one a little bit more expected than Dolly because you know Tim Curry had a stroke in 2012 and has been in a wheelchair and partially paralyzed since then.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I love
that was sad too.
What somebody said online was when you know, obviously the Dolly Parton thing was all big in the morning and then the Tim Curry stuff later in the evening. And someone said, remind me never to die on a day an icon dies.
Well, that's what happened to Farrah Fawcett. You remember that?
Yeah,
Farrah Fawcett died the same day that Michael Jackson died.
Oh, shit, you're right.
Farrah Fawcett died earlier in the day and the news was out, and then Michael Jackson died. And
then that's what everybody talked about. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah. That's what happens. And you'll always remember where you were when you found out. Were you at work?
What, for Michael Jackson?
No. For Dolly Parton on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, I was at work. Yeah.
I was at Mandalay Bay, and a waitress told me.
Oh,
and
wow.
I also remember and I'll remember that forever. And I also remember where I was when I heard Queen Elizabeth died. I was we were buying a couch at a furniture store.
Well, I remember when I found out Whitney Houston had died, I was getting ready to go out for the night. It happened on like a Friday or Saturday night. And I was in DC and I was getting myself ready to go out for the night. And the news broke. And then
Did you still go out?
Yeah, I did. And then I had a friend then who was Whitney Houston was his big diva, and he was devastated. There's always somebody that has a deep love for one of these divas, and like, you know, for me it's Madonna. When the news happens for that,
God, I'm staying away from you.
Everybody is gonna message me at once when that happens, and I am not looking forward to that at all. But
I promise
you know,
I won't message you, and I won't let you do a show about it.
You can totally message me. But yeah, so
Dolly
Parton, we love you, and
we love you, Dolly.
Yeah.
I wish we could play your music. I wish we could play it. So go pretend we played it and go start up your iTunes right now and listen to one.
Go listen to Dolly and then go watch her movies.
Yeah. All right. Well, unless another icon dies sometime in September, we'll be back on October 7th with season 17. And we'll see you guys then. Bye.
Bye.